What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tales from the Long Box. We're the big two. That's right, it's Optimus Prime and Michaeltron, and we're here to talk about Transformers. Written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson, and then drawn by Jorge Corona, and then other stuff. It's good. I like it. Let's talk about it, Michael.
I want everyone to know that we recorded a whole episode, and then Marshall said, "Oh, I need to go back because I forgot what I was going to say at the intro," and that's what we went back for.
It's pretty good, though.
Your glasses
Michael,
look
if you
so
came
cool.
up with those names, you would go back.
It's funny because at the beginning of this episode, I did ask you if you had to create a Transformers name, what would it be? And you had those locked and loaded and didn't whip them
Optimus
out.
Prime and Michaeltron, dude. It's perfect. I thought of Michaeltron first, and I thought, oh, can I fit my name into Optimus Prime?
That is pretty good.
And I did it. Welcome, everybody, to the Tales from the Long Box. We're talking about Transformers. It's the Transformers comic written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson, and then after that, drawn by Jorge Corona. Colors by Mike Spicer. It's really good, and it's finishing up. It just finished last week by the time you're hearing this.
That's crazy.
And we're doing a bit of a retrospective on it. Our thoughts, we feel like he finished his time on the book well, it's going to continue, so it's not like it's a definitive ending necessarily.
Yeah.
But it does close out the third arc. He did 3 arcs in total, right?
I think so, yeah. 3 volumes at least.
Yeah. So do you know how they announced all of this and how this came to be?
No, I didn't even realize that this had come out until I was so far behind. I think it was when Free Comic Book Day happened this year. So
wow.
May of 2025 when this came out. This started in late 2023, maybe.
I think so.
Sometime.
Yeah.
So I was way behind. So no, I missed the rollout.
Okay. So that was the rollout.
Yep. Thanks.
That was a really kind of a fun, cool thing that they did because initially, what happened is all of these books, the Transformers and G.I. Joe and stuff like that, were all at IDW.
Yeah.
And Image has traditionally been a creator-owned, creator-published, artist-published, whatever brand. So it's a little weird now that they have the Ninja Turtles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a slightly strange departure for them, which is why it came by complete surprise that they were doing Transformers.
Yeah.
And why no one suspected that was what was about to happen when Robert Kirkman announced that he was doing a new series. Robert Kirkman, who wrote The Walking Dead, and Marvel Zombies, which we're talking about next week.
Can't wait.
He announced that he was doing a new series called Void Rivals. It was a sci-fi book, and it was these 2 alien races, basically, who are just destined to hate each other and destroy each other. And these 2 pilots from these 2 races crash land on the same moon. And it's a very kind of stereotypical, you can kind of guess that all these things they're wearing the helmets and everything, so they can't see each other's faces.
Sure.
You dirty Graxoid or whatever they're called. I don't know. Weird, stereotypical alien name.
Yeah.
And oh no, guess what? They take off the helmets and they're the same. What? Crazy. But in the process of having crashed on this planet and looking around, you're reading this as far as anyone knew, up to buying the book and reading it. Yeah. This was just a new sci-fi series from Robert Kirkman. Yeah. And then as they are looking around this moon and trying to the moon, and trying to repair their ships, I guess, they discover this giant robot creature. Well, it's a plane. Yeah. They discover this giant plane, and then they get closer to it, and it wakes up and transforms, and it's a Transformer.
Love that.
And
Which one?
It's the one that comes and wakes them up.
Oh, cute.
So it's this Transformer that had come before the war started to go and leave and figure out, I got to find something better. Yeah. So he had left and then ran out of energon, crash landed on the moon. And then that's when it's revealed that this is actually them launching the new Energon universe, which is a shared Transformers G.I. Joe universe. It was a huge thing. Yeah. Where it blew people's minds that they were able to get this all the way to the comic book store without people finding out about this. Yeah. That's how they announced this thing.
I love that.
Isn't that crazy?
I don't know what G.I. Joes have to do with Energon.
Hasbro.
Just there.
It's just that Hasbro owns it all.
Yeah.
So initially Hasbro came to Robert Kirkman and said, we want to do these comic books.
Yeah.
And well, they came to Kirkman and Skybound, his company. And they said, we want to do this comic through your people.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, I think there's a cool vision that can happen here that combines in a shared universe, G.I. Joe and Transformers.
Call it Skybound universe. That's way better.
Yeah, it would be probably. Before we get too deep into this, we should just put a little baseline of what the Transformers are, who they are, what this book is all about.
Good idea.
So Transformers, they're robots in disguise, started in the 80s as a cartoon created to sell toys.
Yeah.
To sell these toys that would transform from robots into vehicles.
Yeah.
You know, Optimus Prime is a big red and blue robot who can turn into a semi-truck. Bumblebee, this guy right here, is a little yellow guy who can turn into basically a Volkswagen Beetle. So on and so forth. Decepticons, a lot of airplanes and stuff like that. And in the comic, in the original cartoon, what happens basically is that there's been this fight for resources for a long time on their planet Cybertron. It's becoming worse and worse. A war breaks out between two factions, the Autobots and the Decepticons. Autobots the good guys, Decepticons are the bad guys. Autobots are led by Optimus Prime. Decepticons are led by Megatron, voiced by Frank Welker, which is very funny.
Good.
It's just every once in a while I get just a hint of Fred Jones.
Yes, entirely.
Very entertaining. They basically leave the planet. The Autobots leave to try to find more energon, and the Decepticons follow them.
Yeah.
Hijack the ship, there's a fight, and then it crashes on Earth in this mountain. In the cartoon, so far we're just following exactly what happens in the comic as well.
Yeah.
It adapts that 100%. Because this is like a full reboot, fresh start. This does not have any continuity attached to it. So they land on Earth, and that's where the book changes from the show for the better. I think
so too.
The show, the original cartoon, the machine that rebuilds the Transformers, revives some of the Decepticons, and they're like, great, we'll bring all our people back, and now let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And then the machine just also brings back Optimus Prime and his buddies, but a little bit later.
Yeah.
And then they just keep fighting. At no point do people show up for like a while. So it's just kind of robots fighting on Earth, but also it doesn't really matter that it's Earth because there's not cities or people involved. This goes the other direction and creates a lot of interesting dramatic depth where instead of what I just described, they do crash, but they had sent out a scout. Well, a guy had gone earlier, way earlier, had landed on this planet after going on his own scouting mission, had not heard about the war because he had left long before the war, finds the Ark, revives Starscream, thinking, oh, my friend, I'll bring him back. And then bad news, Starscream is an evil Decepticon now. So then he gets badly injured. Megatron has been separated, so now there's a power vacuum. Starscream jumps in.
Like he always does.
And then it just becomes a battle. So Optimus is able to come back, but then there's a limited amount of energon, so now you've got this fight for resources between these two factions, and then eventually the Decepticons split off. Like there's a bunch of different actual interesting dramatic things happening here beyond we were fighting on Robot Planet and now we're fighting on Earth and by our toys. So that's basically where this starts.
I like that ending too.
And where it goes to. Or where it goes from. Daniel Warren Johnson's style in general is very manga influenced. He reads a lot of manga. He's a huge wrestling fan. He really loves Gundam. One of the sources that he cited as a main inspiration for at least the look of this book is Gundam The Origin.
Oh, sweet.
So I'll put some pages from that here. It's really cool stuff. Gundams obviously share a lot of DNA with Transformers in the way they're designed. They're a lot more blocky compared to other kinds of like mecha stuff has been. So like they look a lot more similar to a Transformer. But the same thing, like that kind of like extremely big, powerful, dynamic stuff with the big onomatopoeias in the background, that's very Daniel Warren Johnson. He does a lot of that. So a lot of these are drawn on the page by him. These like big booms and stuff like that. And if you look at his inked pages, you can see them on there. And sometimes if you look close on these pages here, you can see the like where he was using the whiteout pen that like you shake up like that really hard, and then it like just smells like toxic gas, but it works really well, and it just paints this really thick white line. I've got the exact same one, and you can see where he uses that to do that big fat like Cthulhu and stuff like that.
That's so cool.
And then Mike Spicer takes over and colors the lines over the top of it, makes it really engage with the scene. Right here, this one right here, you can see it perfectly in the Bachakao. See right there?
Oh.
You can kind of see the three-dimensionality of it.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
So like that one is completely drawn by him.
Yeah.
And I can put this on screen as well.
Definitely.
Another one, I have, I don't have the original art, but I have the image of the original art for these pages. And again, Mike Spicer, Daniel Warren Johnson stuff is incredible in general. It's wildly dynamic.
Yeah.
But it just is brought to life even more by Mike Spicer's colors. They're a creative team on like everything that they do.
Yeah.
And if you look at the original art here, all the black and white art is incredible, but Mike Spicer just brings it to another level. He creates this kind of like very bright, like the, what am I trying to think of? The kind of bloom effect that's going on here, where you get the glow from the blast of this gun here, is all him.
That's what I noticed the most. It's like you get the glare from this explosion down here, and it changes like the color of Optimus's paint as he goes up.
And it's kind of hard to color Daniel Warren Johnson. I've downloaded a lot of his commissions that he's posted, and I've done some coloring of him, and I feel like I do a good enough job. Marshall, insert those here. And
wow, you did do a good job.
Thank you. I'm really proud of. He reposted a couple of them actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's kind of difficult to color because of the way he draws is so thick and chunky, and he's got so much black on the page.
Yeah.
So trying to figure out how to keep that really dynamic is a little bit difficult because you can't do too much shaping work in the color. Totally. You have to kind of let the colors bring out what is already naturally there. So you're not seeing lots of really tiny indents and stuff like that over here. You're not seeing lots of, it's more texture work a lot of the time and more gradients that are going on here. And also like this right here, in this blast, the only thing that's actually drawn by Johnson is this part that's red. And on the page, that's just black ink.
Oh,
so then Spicer has gone through and put a color hold on that and colored that red, and all this stuff in here is done by him after the fact.
Yeah,
it's difficult stuff to do, but all these little flecks here, that is Daniel Warren Johnson, like doing these flecks of like thick, chunky stuff. He's just got these gorgeous, thick lines.
Yeah,
and there's something about the way he draws that he's not precious with it at all. He just kind of goes, and he's not like cautious about his like his whiteout. He just goes at it.
Yeah.
And you can watch him he did a video, I think, with Proco, plug Proco, really good art YouTube channel. He did a video with, I think, them going through what he kind of keeps in his pencil bag, and he just goes at, like tool after tool after tool, and the thing he keeps saying is like, oh yeah, I love this one because you can just beat it up. And he'll just go at the page and be like like that, and just knock some incredible stuff out. But he just like, it's like he's attacking it, but he's just like super chill and like going at it. His work is incredible.
Yeah.
I really, really love it. So, I mean, we're all familiar with his work as an artist in Do a Powerbomb, Extremity, Extremity kind of being the thing, his first bigger creator-owned thing.
Yeah.
Murder Falcon is a really popular one.
Yeah. Other great things to read from DWJ if you haven't already.
Yeah. So, like, his art is famous for being just ridiculously good. He's so talented. But it overshadows his writing a little bit. He is a very talented writer.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think he's a great writer. And he one thing he does really well is he can take an ensemble like you have with Transformers, where there's got to be like a dozen robots in this consistently.
Tons of them.
And they all get at least a character moment. And again, this is 6 issues that we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
In 6 issues, you should not be able to give as much character development to a bunch of robots from another planet as he does here. I don't know how he does it.
So another cool thing about how Daniel Warren Johnson works, he actually does his layouts in Procreate. So he will, like I talked about the way that he just beats his paper and his materials to absolute hell. Before he gets to that point, in order to gain the level of confidence to be able to just like go at it, he does all of his layouts in Procreate, the same app that I use to draw on my iPad.
Yes.
He draws on his iPad in black and white in grayscale.
So good.
And I'll put those on screen. He has a YouTube channel where he does live streams every Friday called Fridays with D-Dubs.
Cool.
And it's just him working on whatever he's working on basically and talking to the chat. Really fun, really entertaining. He's a super chill guy from Chicago. Really down to earth dude. And he did these director commentaries for the first 4 issues of this run. So he went through and compared his initial layouts to the final inked page. So for anybody who doesn't know, the layout basically is just kind of the thumbnail sketch where he's figuring out what is the actual paneling of the page going to look like and where are the characters going to interact and everything, and then making sure that you're leaving room for the letterer, kind of figuring out story beats and stuff like that. And then eventually moving on to then do your actual final layouts on the inked and penciled page. So he does these in Procreate with just black and white, which is so smart. And I think I'm going to start doing, because what that does is it doesn't just help you like easily throw down a lot of shading. It lets you see the values going on. So little art lesson. You've got hues and you've got values. Your hues are what people think of as just like what colors and stuff like that. So a value is the light or dark of that color.
Cool.
So you've got the hue, so red, blue, orange, whatever. The value is how bright it is, essentially. So what is important then is having a good depth in your values. So if something is just all kind of the same grayish tone or the same middle tone, middle value, nothing really stands out. It's kind of hard to read what's happening on the page visually, hard to understand it. But if you have a lot of depth in your values, some bright spots and some dark spots, that helps you focus your eyes, helps you focus where the reader is supposed to be looking. So something that I'll do a lot of time when I'm drawing something, if I'm feeling like I can't quite figure out, like it doesn't look quite right, something's not working, I'll copy the whole canvas and then paste that on top and then make it black and white.
Sweet.
And then that instantly shows me like this is where my eye is going to and where it's not going to. And it helps me pick out what's not working.
Even without color.
Specifically without color.
That's really cool.
Because color does so much to distinguish depth. It's the difference between a black and white movie and a color movie. The reason that we see old noir films as these things that have these deep shadows is because they didn't have color to distinguish depth. So they had to use just the values, just the black and the white to really direct your eye. Where once you get to a time when you have color, you can use the color to do a lot of that work. So that's the big difference with what's interesting is when you're looking at the thumbnail he's doing, where he's doing all this work, getting the shading in black and white, that goes away when he does the inked page, when it is just straight up black and white and that's it. And then it comes back when Mike Spicer does the colors.
So cool.
So it's this, he's kind of doing a preliminary thing to figure out the page in his own mind and to understand it, make sure that it's flowing correctly. And then after that, Mike Spicer, they're just on the same wavelength. He's putting it together in a very similar way. I don't know if he has access to those thumbnails, if Daniel is sending those to him. But they come together in a very similar way. If I haven't already, I will put some of those on screen. Marshall, insert those preliminary pages here. It's really, really smart. And so he starts there. He makes his the thumbnails, the layouts in Procreate in black and white, and then he prints them full size, 11 by 17 comic book page as blue line. And then he will ink over that.
Cool.
So that way, the idea with the blue line stuff is that you then, when you scan it, you can set it so it doesn't show up on the page that you would then be sending to your colorist or whoever. Typically, he's probably not actually inking on that direct page. And so the same thing is when I'm drawing in blue or purple on the iPad, I'm not doing it for that reason because it's all happening on the iPad. I don't need to erase these lines digitally on the printer. That's not a part of my process. It literally doesn't happen. I'm doing it, and he's probably doing it, I would guess, just to have a very clear distinction and be able to easily see the difference between the line he's putting down now and the line that he put down already. So I can see this is the final line, and then this is what was there before, where that would become a lot more difficult if it was still the black and white values. It's just really cool stuff, and it's super worth checking out his live streams and watching him draw live, because it's just fascinating the way that he throws a page together. There's a lot of like kind of visual referencing of different pieces of the book, of like comparing Spike's dad, Sparky, to Optimus, and how they're both these, soldiers, warriors, and they talk about their wars and his tours and how long he's been in the war and stuff like that. And there's a deep sense of empathy in Johnson's work. A deep sense of like people being hurt and having hurt and healing and finding healing. And that's kind of a through line through a lot of his stuff.
You mentioned like Spike's dad. They could have just made him a burnout, and a lesser author would have
really
done that.
What I was expecting.
Me too. Absolutely. I thought he was just going to be this one throwaway character that gives Spike a reason to run away from home. But no, they make it. They give him a full arc, and it's beautiful.
He becomes the main character. It took me completely by surprise. They give him a full redemption arc. They make him super sympathetic. Like at first it totally seems like he's conspiracy dad.
It does.
Where he's like, they're putting fluoride in the water and it's mind control. Like I was fully expecting that to be the direction that it was going. But knowing Daniel Warren Johnson, of course that wasn't.
Had to be something much deeper.
Like his writing feels so real. And it feels so human. And it's just so impressive to me. The way that he puts these parallels between Optimus and Sparky are so cool. It's the moment that I really love in this that is kind of what bookends Johnson's run on the characters. Is when Spike has been shot. He's in the hospital. And I'll put this on screen. His dad is saying, when I got back from the war, I wanted to protect you from where I grew up, from everything. It's why I moved us all the way out here to start over. Talking to Spike, basically, he's in a coma. The world, it can be so awful. I can't see the good in it anymore. I used to, but not since the war, not since your brother. It's like I'm infected. It's with me all the time and spreads to the ones I love the most. I can't remember how to see the good. And now you're not here to remind me. It's this just deep, like he's been in a hole, he's stuck in this place. And then out in the other room, it's this kid in the hospital saying, "Excuse me, Mr. Optimus." Optimus goes, "Yes. I heard you can change into a truck. Is that true?" "Indeed it is, young human. Can you show me? I'm a little worse for wear, but gladly."
And he just does it.
It's just this kind of like Superman kindness.
It really does feel like Superman or the Iron Giant.
What happens now is up to the Great Spark, blah, blah, blah. He says, "Yeah, you mean gods? Don't you fall into that category?" And Optimus says, "Because of my size, I could say the same of you, human." "What, me? I'm nothing. Like, come on, look at me compared to you." And then Optimus says, "True, small, but still mighty." And that's what this is all about. Like, that's what
it's the whole
this
story.
book is. It is, Optimus is this huge creature, and Sparky is this, just a guy who has had all of this horrible pain and all of this difficulty. And if you look up at this robot creature, you think, oh, this thing is, I mean, it's a robot, you know? But no, it's sentient. He has feelings. He has emotions. He's been through the exact same thing. And in every way, they're exactly the same, except that one is a robot and one's a guy. And, you know, it's the Yoda thing. Judge me by my size, do you? Like he is, you know, yeah, he's physically small.
Yeah.
But you can move beyond that. You can grow beyond that. And in that moment of depth of despair that Sparky is in, his son is probably going to die. And he hears outside Optimus, who has gone through the same things, who has lived the same life, who has lost people just like he has. But he isn't living that way now. Yeah. And he's continuing to live out of this this ongoing hope. And it's very much the Superman thing of like Superman would be this big scary guy. If a guy showed up in real life and was giant, super strong, could shoot lasers out of his eyes, you'd be terrified of him. Yeah. So he has to actively work to not be that.
Totally. To be as unthreatening as he can while being the strongest thing on Earth. Yeah.
It's just that's the thing that is so cool to me about this book, about all of Daniel Warren Johnson. Yes. About all of Daniel Warren Johnson's work is just this sense of empathy and just care and like need for deep healing. Yes. Like it's in all of this stuff. Yeah. And it's great.
I've been one of those people who has said that like the whole Transformers like franchise is the most fun and interesting when they're just on Cybertron and it's just robots and and that's it, and that's as complicated as it has to get. And this absolutely proved me wrong. Yeah. Because like those human moments, the moments where it's like, it's, parallels to the human experience and how that translates to these super powerful beings and that sort of thing. And how they have souls just like we have souls, that's all of that. That's what makes this interesting. It's not the big action or even the artwork, which all feeds it.
10 out of 10.
Yes. But it's this like killer writing that just makes it the experience that it is. Yeah. Yeah.
That's Transformers.
It's great.
Extremely good. Huge suggest. Big fan. Yeah. Check it out.
Yes, please do.
Here's our famous segment, If This Then That. If you really liked this book, you should check out Daniel Warren Johnson's other work. Do a Powerbomb Extremity, Murder Falcon.
Murder Falcon's the best title of anything.
It's very good.
It's so good.
Daniel Warren Johnson loves heavy metal and the guitar, and he plays guitar on his stream sometimes. And there is an original character that he introduces later in this book that is basically a heavy metal transformer with a glowing sword. And it is rad. So you know what his name is?
What's that?
Shredhead.
Incredible.
It's the most Daniel Warren Johnson thing ever.
I can't wait.
And it's awesome. Good. It's so good.
Read that, man. Goodness.
I'm a huge fan. Check all that stuff out. Also, another thing that I thought of in that time is there was a anthology series that they did recently called Superman Red and Blue, which is a kind of a follow-up to the classic Batman Black and White books. It's these anthology stories done by different writer-artist teams. Yeah. And he did one that he wrote and drew that is just fantastic. Yeah. Like one of my top all-time Superman stories. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. And it's the same kind of like empathy and care kind of thing just flowing straight through. It gets to the heart of the character of Superman. And it's fantastic. So huge suggest to check that out. You could also read the IDW Transformer stuff. I've heard that it's good. I haven't read it personally. It's very different from this in that it is a 17-year spanning space opera with like lots of deep lore that's been built into it and stuff like that. Yeah. And, political intrigue and whatever. It's a lot more like high-level sci-fi. At least that's what they're going for. Yeah. And there's a lot of it, so it can be a little intimidating, which is why they made this a full, like, starting from scratch. Yeah. But I've heard that it's good, and I might check it out after this. I don't know. We'll see.
Love it. Absolutely. While you're reading those other awesome books from Daniel Warren Johnson, be sure to check out Marshall's artwork. Here's 3 pieces. Boom, boom, boom. You went in the wrong direction.
It's the same.
Wait. Do it again. Put 3 more up.
Okay, ready?
Boom, boom, boom. They're all over the place.
3 things. They're pretty cool. You can buy those. There's a link in the description. If you want to support my work, that'd be incredible. There's also links to my social media and stuff like that. I'm open to commissions. Let me know. I'm happy to work with you and make some art. I'll draw down Optimus Prime for you. I'll do it.
He will. I've seen him do it.
Yeah. Michael also is a writer. He wrote a book. It's called Marauders. Boom. It's very good. There's poems in it. Birds. Pirates. Nature. That's been the show, everybody. Here's a little preview of what's happening next week.
Marvel Zombies, rated TV MA.
Whoa, that looks really crazy.
Why were we wearing the same clothes in that clip? That's nutty.
I can't even believe it. Thanks for being here. It's the episode, it's the show, it's the thing that we do. Thanks for being here. Send it to a friend if you think they would like it. If you don't think they'd like it, that's okay.
Yes.
Send it to them anyway. If you don't like it, that's okay. I'm sorry.
I hope you like it, though.
I hope you like it. If you did like it, let us know what you think. I want to hear what you think about the Transformers comics. If you've read them, tell us all about what you think. Gamma, we miss you. Michael Still Bald.
Keep comments at Michael Still Bald. Gamma, do you think?
Yep.
You know what you say.
You know what you say. This is your job now.
Love our boy Gamma.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here. And to all my Autobots taking refuge on the internet, keep reading comics. We love you.
Good luck.